Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Raha, Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out a lesson. And the title of this lesson is Use Not Many Words. It's a small lesson, but it was inspired by a lesson that the brothers Ariah of this camp did, I want to say about maybe 2 weeks ago. And they was going into how IUIC was here in Jacksonville, over there in the hood, just talking and running his mouth and not really edifying, edifying the people just over there, But of course, they got withstood. Jake wasn't trying to hear him because they was just a lot of talking and wasn't really bringing out no scriptures and edifying nobody. And when it come down to the work of Yahweh Bahasham Shai, it's best not to use many words. You read your scripture, you make your point, you elaborate, and then you go to your next point. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So, if any man is speaking, speak as the oracles of Yahweh. Speak as a prophet. Speak as one who has received the words of prophecy from Yahweh Bahasham Shai, i.e. speak the truth, speak the words of the Lord. And if any man is ministering, let him do it to his several ability that the Lord has given him to do it. But in that, make sure that Yahweh is glorified through Yahweh Shai, to whom be praise and honor and dominion is due forever and ever. So you must speak as those, or a man of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Let the scriptures speak. Let the Lord speak. Let the words come out, because these are not our words. We can't even do this or break down the words without the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. So let the words of the Lord speak. Make your point, and then get back to the scripture. Next point, Proverbs. And this is what these so-called guys don't understand. They don't know to just let the Lord speak. They want to put themselves out there. That's why they become hateful. And us that understand, we must also be aware of ourselves as well when we're breaking down the scriptures, because sometimes you can get long-winded. And you can become too long-winded till you can forget your point. And you can lose the listening or the hearing. So make your point. Get back to the scripture. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 19. It says, in the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. So in the multitude of words, there is no lack of sin, meaning anything can be said that can cause people to be led astray. You could lose your point. You could lose the listener. You could miss the point. But when you refrain your mouth, when you refrain your lips, you are wise. Meaning you speak when you're supposed to speak. Refrain from talking so much. With these other camps, they don't understand. They're full of words. That's why they become hateful. We've all seen videos of these ones that call themselves breaking the scriptures down, almost getting jumped on. Why? For their many words. They become hated for their many words. So in the multitude of words, there does not lack sin. That's what that word wanteth in. Want is actually lack. you look up the definition and the etymology of it, it means lacking. So in the multitude of words, there lacketh not sin. But when you refrain your lips, that man that does that is wise. So make your points. When it comes down to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, let the word speak. You speak the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. On to the next one. Sirach chapter 20. Starting at verse 5. It says, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. So when you keep silence, you are found to be wise, or you could be looked at as wise. When you I just say watch your mouth. But another by much babbling becometh hateful. Talking too much, it can become hateful. You could lose the listener or your point that you're making. Don't over explain. Explain the point of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and you keep it moving to the next point. Once more, there was one that keepeth silence. Sirach chapter 20 verse 5. There was one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. You can become hated for talking entirely too much. You could lose those who may be listening. Something else could grab their attention because you're talking too much. This is something that we must be aware of. Verse 6. Some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not an answer, and some keepeth silence knowing his time. So some man won't speak because they don't have an answer. And some men, they keep in silence because they're waiting for their time to speak, to edify. This is what wise men do. This is what the wisdom of the Lord does for you. It teaches you to govern yourself, your mouth, your heart, and to know when to speak. Make your point. Say what you're going to say. Break down the scripture. Next point. Verse 7. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity. But a babbler and a fool will regard no time. So a wise man is going to hold his tongue. A wise man is going to wait. A wise man is going to speak when it is necessary. A wise man is not going to speak too much. But when it comes down to a babbler, someone is always constantly talking, they're not going to regard any time. They're just blabbing and blabbing and blabbing, blah, 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 blah. Next point. Verse 13. A wise man by his words maketh himself beloved, but the graces of fools shall be poured out. So a wise man by his graces, by his words, Salakia, maketh himself beloved, meaning his words are beneficial. You will come to respect and honor that man because every time he opened his mouth and he said something, you learn from it. It's a benefit. But the graces of a fool is going to be poured out. And we all know what foolish men are. They constantly talk all the time. Constantly talking all the time. And guess what? It's aggravating because they're constantly talking. That's what it means. And if you're talking to, just roughly paraphrasing, you're talking too much, you can become hated. As a matter of fact, back up to verse 5. There is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. This is why these other groups can't edify nobody. They can't build up. This is why when you go on their comment boards and you look at their lives, it's a bunch of emotion, emojis, and all the other tomfoolery. Ain't no scriptures, ain't nobody serious about the work. So again, use not many words. Last point. Sirach 21, verse 13. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. So the knowledge of a wise man is going to abound like a flood. And we see how powerful and how strong floods are and how devastating they can be. But floods can also be good too. But nonetheless, the wisdom of a wise man, his knowledge is going to abound, and he's going to have a lot of it. And his counsel, his guidance, his leadership, his instruction is a pure fountain of life. Just imagine if you're in a desert somewhere and you're thirsty and you run across this fountain, and it's not a mirage, it's an actual fountain, and it's got the best tasting water that you have ever had in your life. That's the wisdom of a wise man to those who are seeking wisdom and those who are looking for guidance. So don't use too many words, especially when it comes down to breaking down the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Read the scripture, break it down. Of course, you know you're going to elaborate here and there, but then you get back to the point. Sirach chapter 20, verse 5, once more, then I'm going to end it. There is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. Shalom.